So let's go ahead and take a look at how we can use this information on the powers of 3 in order to answer some questions about the logs. And remember, it was not so hard to find those powers, just took a few seconds on each one of them, even the ones with a negative exponent. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write a question about a log, and we'll try to use the information on the paper, and get the answer. So let's say I wanted you to do the following. I want you to evaluate a few logs, and I'm going to stick with base 3 since, we practice right here. But you could do that for any base. Let's say I ask you to find what is log base 3 of 9. So what that means is the following. I'm looking for something which is an exponent. I know a log is an exponent. So I'm looking for an exponent. What do I know about this exponent? I know the following. I know that if I were to take the base, which is 3, and raise it to that mystery exponent, I would get 9. So really what I'm asking is which power of 3 should I place here as an answer, such that if I raise 3 to that power, I would get 9, the quantity inside the log. So what power should I place on 3, the base, to get 9, the quantity inside the log? So what you can do is the following. Either you remember that 3 squared is 9, so you know that what you're looking for is going to be the number 2 because that's your base 3. So what you're looking for is which power of 3 gives me 9, and 2 is the answer, and that's your answer right here. So that's how you would answer that. Okay. So if you have log base 3 of 9, you should have a reflex. 3 to what power gives me 9? Which power of 3 gives me 9? And you should think 2. Okay. If it doesn't come naturally, what you can do is the following. If you have to find log base 3 of 9, you can put something here and say 3 to that power is 9, the quantity inside the log. You can just here keep looking for what the dots should be and rewrite 9 as 3 times 3 or 3 squared. Now since the base is the same on both sides, they are both base 3, then this is telling you that the exponent you're looking for, those dots, which are the answer to the question, those dots, then those dots should just be 3, the power you had to put on the right hand side. So your answer is 2. So that's how you deal with those kind of questions. I'll put another question up. Now let's say I had to find log base 3 of 3. So this is my question. So let me write it again. So it's log base 3 of 3 is equal to what? We know we're looking for an exponent. The answer will be an exponent such that if I take my base 3 and I raise it to that mystery exponent, I will get the quantity inside the log as an answer. So my hint is that 3 raised to my answer, which is an exponent, gives me 3. So which power of 3 must I place here so that I get the quantity inside the log, so that I get 3? So which power of 3 gives me 3? So if you think about it, the power you need to put on a 3 to get the number 3 itself is just a power 1. So my answer to my question over here is 1. Okay, and if you were to check log base 2 of 2 and do a similar reasoning, it would be equal to log base 3 of 3, which we just computed. It would be equal to log base 4 of 4. Any base you can think of, it will be the same as log base b of b, and it will always be 1, because which power of the base b in general should I put, okay, as an answer? So let's say I don't know the answer. I'm saying it's dot dot dot, so which power of b would give me b? Now let's see. B to my mystery power is supposed to be equal to b, which is b to the first. So when the bases are the same, then the exponent should be a match. So that should be an answer of 1, and that's no matter, what you have as the base, whether it's base 2, 3, 4, as long as what you have inside is the same value, those two are the same, those two are the same, those two are the same, and so are those, then you would always get a 1 as an answer. And notice when I ask log base 3 of 3 is how much, I'm using this relationship. Which power of 3, the base, will give me the number 3 inside the log. So if it helps you to write this when you're working on things, please do so. Now for the next one I'm going to do here, I'm going to try to find log base 3, let me say that again, log base 3 of the number 1/9. So whenever you have one of those to do, I wouldn't mind putting some extra steps on that one. So log base 3 of the number 1/9 is an answer I'm looking for, and I know this answer is an exponent. So what clues do I have? If I take the base 3 and raise it to that mystery exponent, I expect to get the quantity inside the log, which is 1/9. So let me write my hint. We have that the base 3 raised to the mystery exponent is equal to the number inside the log, which is 1/9. Now, I can keep the left-hand side the way it is, 3 raised to my mystery exponents, and that's equal to 1/9. Now 1/9, we know 9 is 3 times 3, or 3 squared. So what you can do, and you can even do it a little bit more directly, the 9 which you have here, we know 9 is 3 times 3, or is 3 squared. So just write 9 as 3 squared directly. Now because this 3 squared is underneath the fraction bar, what you would have to do is send it back up, so that you can say 3 to a power on the right hand side. So on the left hand side you have 3 raised to this mystery power, and on the right hand side you can rewrite this 3 raised to the power 2, because it's in the denominator, it's 1 over 3 squared, that's 3 raised to the power -2. So let's see why again. 1 over 9 is 1 over 3 times 3, which is 1 over 3 squared. Now, anytime you have something in a fraction, you can always move that quantity up or down the fraction bar, provided you change the sign of the exponent to its opposites. So it will show up as 3 raised to the power -2, and that's in a numerator position if you wanted to emphasize it by showing it's over 1. But you really can just call it 3 to the -2, which is what I just did right here. Now, why did I do that? You may say it's because on both sides now, I do have on one side 3 to my mystery power is equal to 3 to the -2. Notice here that, this base is the same as this one. They are both 3. If the bases are the same, then the exponents must be the same. So this should be the same as this. So that means what I'm looking for, those little dots, that exponent, mystery exponent, should be -2. So I come back here and I say, oh, I know what the little dots should be. The little dots should be -2, that exponent. So when you see log base 3 of 1/9, this is asking you which power of 3 would give you the quantity inside the log, which is 1/9, the answer is a -2 as an answer. And why is that? Because if you were to zap the log to check it, if you were to zap it, because 3 raised to the -2 gives me 1/9. Let's see, 3 to the -2 is over 1. That's, bring it down, change the sign, 1/3 to the second power, which is 1/3 times 3, which is 1/9. So that checks out. So indeed, my answer to the question is -2 is the answer.